Breastfeeding has been proven to be the best start to a healthy life for a newborn baby and is critical for the first 6 months of life as recommended by the World Health Organization. It's not just about nutritional value, though it's more critical, but it's all about retaining the parental bond by providing the baby with the most basic necessity for healthy growth. Kenyan labor laws provide for 3 months mandatory maternity leave. Nutritionists argue that 90 days is barely enough to secure the future health of a child.
Purpose to do it. Purpose to give your child the best start in life. Breast milk helps them stay healthy. I don't recall my son having a cold until I weaned him, until he started eating regular food. I don't recall him being sick. In fact, I think he got his first cold when he was like 8 months or something like that.
A very healthy baby. Can I tell you something? I have never gone to the emergency room. He's 20 months old and going strong. Yeah, so stress-free. You have a healthy baby, a strong baby.
This throws many working new mothers into an awkward spin. They are forced to strike the balance between going to work and taking care of the young ones. And when it comes to choosing between the baby and career growth, babies will often lose out. This has been the source of debate and disagreement between couples. Sometimes new mothers have ended up quitting their jobs to take care of the baby. Prolonged hours occasionally interferes the breastfeeding intervals and are said to have more often caused distress to both the mother and the baby. Ruth Okoth, who was working the banking industry, had to find a way to balance between work and nursing her child.
For this guy, I breastfed him way into the 5th month of my pregnancy. Again, doctor's advice. And I'm glad I did, because I continued bonding with him. There's really no risk to it. It's only then that now you need to start checking after the 5th month. Is this okay? Am I getting contractions? So if you start getting those or you start any bleeding, then you need to check with your doctor and probably you need to stop breastfeeding. But you can go on breastfeeding your child even when you're expectant for quite a period of time. And I did until he was 20, how many months was he? 19, 20 months? Quite a long time. I just stopped in January and I'm due in May.
My firstborn, I breastfed her for a little while when I was pregnant with the second one, but I started getting complications and the doctor advised that I stop. So for her, she didn't get the full benefit of the 2 years.
New mothers have sometimes given up, unable to cope with the demands of work, but others give their total commitment despite the various challenges.
So for me, 6 months was challenging, especially the last month, because now he's demanding more, he's growing. So he's demanding more, and now I'm seeing the milk beginning to wane off because I have been at the office for quite a while. But because I had made that commitment before and because I was consistently expressing, the milk was there.
It appears that new mothers require support from spouses, friends and relatives if this prerequisite for healthy living is to be fully executed and retained as a mandatory benefit for the child, even though it's by expressing milk to be consumed when the mother is away.
It was quite a challenge because first of all, I'm a firstborn, so I did not even have other siblings who've done it. I was the firstborn, and here is my mother telling me, I fed you in 2 weeks. I mean, I gave you porridge in 2 weeks. What is this business? You're not giving my grandchild, food. Then, of course, there's the proverbial mother-in-law and mothers. They have the best interest of the child at heart, and so they think that's the best thing for the child. And so you start giving. Some will even come and cook the food in your house and actually sit down with the grandchild and give them.
There's always another mother in the room. There's always another mother. And you'd be surprised, even the fathers are very supportive. I recall my husband was very keen on my son being exclusively breastfed.
But there is also the challenge of who feeds the baby. Usually househelps may prefer feeding the child with other foodstuff rather than the expressed milk.
We've had cases, even in the business, where the mother leaves expressed milk, but this, you did not educate your housekeeper and your nanny about how the importance of this breast milk. So this nanny will actually go and buy KCC and give your baby, even without you knowing, and they pour your milk.
Other women have claimed they do not have enough milk to breastfeed their children exclusively. Not every mother agrees.
I could say, I don't have milk. And breast milk, as you say, it all happens in the brain. There's a lot of your brain working. So if you say you don't have enough milk, you will not have enough milk because your brain starts sending signals. You're worried, you're stressed, so you will not have enough milk. So you start giving complementary foods. Then
How will you know unless you try? So I encourage people to try. I tried and I surprised myself. I surprised myself at the amounts of milk I was able to express.
Mothers living with HIV are not an exemption to exclusive breastfeeding. They can continue breastfeeding their children for over a year with the doctor's advice. Medics recommend that they heat treat their expressed milk. This helps kill any infections in the milk, preventing the passage of the virus from the mother to the child.
when you do it correctly, according to the correct guidelines set, then your child has a chance of more than 90% of not getting the virus. So why shouldn't you do it? If your child is more protected when you breastfeed them, even when you're HIV positive, then this is good. Then you have bonding with your child. You have even less, even for, what are they called? For the society. They won't know that even if you didn't want them to know that you're HIV positive. Because nowadays when you don't breastfeed your child, the first thing somebody starts suspecting is that, are you HIV positive?
Join me on the second part of this story.